Hello children. So we are here to solve a quadratic using a quadratic formula. What is quadratic formula? Most of you must be knowing, but still let's write. Suppose you have a quadratic in this form, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, or you may be having a quadratic as a function where it is the same thing, bx plus c, right? This is the quadratic equation and this is the quadratic function. Function can also be written as dependent and independent variable x square plus bx plus c. Both are functions and this is a standard one. Okay. Now, if you have to solve a quadratic using quadratic formula, we should know what the formula is. So here your focus has to be on a, b and c. Okay. A, b, c, right? If you are able to recognize what is a, b and c correctly and you input the value in the formula, you get the values of x, which is the x-intercepts of this quadratic. Actually, what are we finding? Solving. When we are solving a quadratic equation, so this is the parabola. A quadratic is a parabola, right? So when you are solving, you are actually getting two values of x-intercepts using the formula. Using factorization also we were finding the same thing. Using formula also we can find the same thing. Many kids I have seen, they like formula because it's direct application. They don't have to put their mind in splitting the middle term. But in examination, you have to be very careful. If they ask you by splitting the middle term, you have to use the method of splitting the middle term. Or if they ask you quadratic formula, you can use quadratic formula. But if they are not asked, you can directly use the quadratic formula. Let's write the formula itself. X value will be minus b plus root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. It is plus and minus because x has two values, this one and this one, right? So I can write x, and what is this for us? This is d for us. So I'll write the shortcut. Instead of writing such big thing, I'll just use d. D is our discriminant. D was always equal to b square minus 4ac. D was b square minus 4ac. You should never ever forget this in your life. Okay. So discriminant is very useful. It is used in many ways. You can watch my YouTube videos in quadratics where I have shown you the importance of d. Okay. Coming back. So x, I can write the quadratic formula as minus b plus minus root of d over 2a. This is easy to remember. If you try to remember this, very difficult. Separately remember d as b square minus 4ac and use it here. It is very simple. Okay. So now we know the formula, we know our task. We are trying to find the values of x-intercepts using the quadratic formula. Okay. So you should know what you are doing when you are trying to solve a quadratic equation or a quadratic function. If it is a quadratic function, you find this x-intercepts. If it's a quadratic formula, you are finding values of x which you input here, it becomes 0. So they are called roots, zeros, or x-intercepts. They are all the same. Okay. Now let's do some questions. So it's basically calculator job, but still I'll show you. We have one question here using quadratic formula. So find d first. My suggestion is always find d before even inputting the formula. So let's find d, because d we will use there. So d for us is b square. What is b? B is negative 13. Okay, it's not 13, it's negative 13. You have to use the symbol also. So negative 13 whole square minus 4 times a is how much? 48, and c is how much? Negative 1. Okay, right? So I'll write formula for d over here, so you can always remember b square minus 4ac. Write it n number of times, it will go into your head. Okay, right? Let's calculate. This is 169. 169. My negative will become plus. 32, 2, 3, 4, 16, 192. And 192 and 169. 361. So d value we have got it. Okay. And you see it is a perfect square number. right? So if you want to factorize this, you can factorize this, right? Because 361 is a perfect square of 19. So 19 square is 361. That's what I was telling. D is having a lot of importance. If you are able to find D, suppose somebody wants you to factorize this, you should be able to factorize because it's a full root number. It has a root which is 19. Okay. Anyhow, let's come back to our quadratic formula method. So let's input our values. So x will be equal to minus b. B is how much? Negative 13. Minus b. Okay. Formula is x is negative b plus minus root of d over 2a. Okay. This is a quadratic formula. So negative b is negative of minus 13, not 13, minus 13, plus minus root of 361 over 2 times, which is, what is a? A is 48. Okay. So negative negative becomes plus. It is 13 plus minus 19 by 96. So our x values is 1 is plus, 1 is minus. So let's calculate how much it is. Let me shift this one here, and so that you are able to see. Now it is 13 plus 19 divided by 96. So one of the values, I'll write it in this fashion. X1 is 13 plus 19 by 96, and X2, the other value, is 13 minus 19 by 96. So X1 is 20, 32, 32 over 96. X2 is minus 6 over 96. You can simplify this to your lowest term. Okay. So it is 32 over 96 is 1 by 3. X1 is 1 by 3 and X2 is 1 by 16, negative 1 by 16. Both values, one is positive, one is negative. So using quadratic formula, we have solved this particular standard quadratic equation or function. So what does this x1 and x2 mean? That means it's a upward opening parabola. So definitely this point will be negative 1 by 16 and this point will be 1 by 3. The parabola will be very narrow, because see 1 by 16 and 1 by 3 is, both are less than 1. So in reality, if you see, the parabola will be something like this. Okay. Anyhow, so we are more interested in solving the quadratic. So what do we find actually by using the quadratic formula? We are finding the x-intercepts. That is what solution means, or the finding the values of x. If you input 1 by 3 in the main function here, you will find that it becomes 0. And if you input negative 1 by 16 also, it will become 0. Understood? So let's do another one. You can pause this video at this point and take the notes. Okay, we move ahead and see the next question. Here, roots are there. Don't worry about the roots. Let us input the values as roots only. Okay. So calculate D value as we said. D equals to B square minus 4AC. What is B? 10. Many kids tell me 10x. No, it is not only, take only 10 coefficient. 10 square minus 4 times, what is A? A is root 3 and C is negative 8 root 3. So it is 100, negative negative becomes plus. Okay. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. And you have 12 times 8, 96. So we get 196. Okay. It's a positive number, so definitely it will have 2x intercepts. Okay. We always tell with D so many things you can find out. And 196 also a perfect square number, so you can always factorize this also. Okay, but let us find the values using quadratic formula. Our quadratic formula is x equals to minus b plus minus root of d over 2a. So let's input the values. Minus 10 plus minus root of 196 over 2 root 3. 2 times root 3. A is root 3. So I'll write 2a is 2 root 3. So what are our x values? x1 is minus 10. What is root of 196? 14. Minus 10 plus 14 by 2 root 3. The other one will be, okay, x1 is minus 10 plus root of 196 is 14 and divide by the denominator 2 root 3. And x2 is minus 10 minus 14 by 2 root 3. So our x1 value is 4 by 2 root 3. I can simplify this. It becomes 2 by root 3. And what is x2? x2 is minus 24 by 2 root 3 to 12 times. Okay. Now we have these values. I want to tell you something that we have learnt in our previous classes. In 9th class, you should never leave a root number in the denominator. Okay. If you leave like this, although the answer is correct, but your examiner will still deduct a mark. The rule in maths is we never leave a root number in the denominator. How to get rid of this root? It's very, very simple. Look. Now we have this one, 2 by root 3. So I will do 2 by root 3 times, you multiply root 3 and root 3. Okay. So what do you get? Root 3 times root 3 is 3. So x1 will become 2 root 3 by 3. Okay. And similarly, you do the same thing here also. It is minus 12 divided by root 3, multiply root 3 in numerator and root 3 in denominator. Why are we doing this? See, here your answer has ended. But some examiners don't accept root numbers, okay, or radicals in the denominator. So we have to get rid of them. How to get rid of them? Multiply the same thing in numerator, denominator. This is the simplest technique. Now what happens here? This becomes x2 is equal to minus 12 root 3 by 3. This becomes 4. So x2 is negative 4 root 3. See, if you write this value, you will get your full marks, because we should not leave any root numbers in the denominator. Okay, I hope you got it. Pause the video, write this one. Okay. Now we have a different kind of thing. So x square is in denominator, x is also in denominator. It doesn't look like a quadratic. Let us find out whether it is quadratic or not. We'll do little algebra. This a by b minus c by d. Let's do the LCM and calculate the expression what we are getting. So how do we do this? We cross multiply. Okay, 2 times x minus 5 times x square. Okay, this plus 2 is here and x. Okay, I will take LCM as x square because x and x square is the best LCM. So this is x square. How many times is x square? 1. So 1 times 2, and x, how many times is x square? 1 time. So x into x, so it will be x times its numerator 5. Okay, plus 2 equal to 0. Okay, fine. Let me send this 2 here. So it will become 2 minus 5x by x square equals to negative 2. Correct? Now, what do we do? Write 1 here, cross multiply. So it becomes 2 minus 5x equals to negative 2 x square. Okay. Now is it looking like a quadratic? Yes. If you get this 2x square on the left side. Let's get it here. So it will become negative, will become positive. 2x square, and I will write negative 5x first and plus 2 equal to 0. So now we have our quadratic. Okay. Now we can use the quadratic formula to solve this. What is b here? Negative 5, a is 2 and c is also 2, right? So let's do find the value of d. B square minus 4ac n number of times. Don't forget this. This is discriminant. It is very helpful thing. Okay. So negative 5 whole square minus 4 times 2 times 2. 25 minus 16. Okay. 25 minus 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16. It is 9. Okay. 25 minus 16 is 9. So it's a full root number. If you want to factorize this, you can factorize this because it's a full root number. You can proceed with splitting the middle term, okay, in this one. But we are doing our quadratic formula method. Let's write the quadratic formula. Now we have to solve which one? This one. This whole thing actually got converted into a regular quadratic. Okay. Let's solve. So our x will be equal to minus b plus minus root of d over 2a. This is our quadratic formula. Let's input our values here. B is negative 5. So x will be equal to minus of minus 5 plus minus root of d. D is 9. So I will just put there. And what is a? A is 2. 2 times 2. And it's very easy now. X1 will be equal to 5 plus 3 by 4. And x2 will be equal to 5 minus 3 by 4. So 8 by 4, x1 is 2 and x2 is 1 by 2. Okay. So you get your values of x. Okay. Understood? Pause video, write it. Okay. Now I'll just take you through the whole revision. This was not a standard quadratic. So we did little algebra in this. We solved this. We saw that actually it is a quadratic. Okay. And from here we used the quadratic formula method to solve this question. Okay. Pause, write. Now this question, again it's not a regular in quadratic form. Let's see whether if it is quadratic or not. So let's solve this. How do you solve this? Crisscross, simple. So it is x minus 1 times 1 plus, because there is a plus symbol here, I am doing this way, this method, okay, plus 2 times x minus 2 times divided by x minus 2 x minus 1 equals to 6 upon x. So I have multiplied these two, I have multiplied these two, and I have multiplied these two. Okay, very simple fractions method. I have just done that. So let's calculate this. 1 times x minus 1 is x minus 1 plus this multiplies with both 2x minus 4 and multiply this one x square minus x minus 2x and plus 2 equals to 6 upon x. So now here we have common things x and 2x. So this becomes 3x minus 5. Negative 1 and negative 4 will become negative 5. Okay? Divided by x square. Negative x and negative 2x becomes negative 3x plus 2 equals to 6 upon x. Right? What do we do here? Cross multiply once again. Cross multiply like this. So x times this, I can write x into 3x minus 5 equals to 6 into x square minus 3x plus 2. Are you seeing that it is slowly trickling down into a quadratic? Okay, let's solve this further. Okay, you want to pause the video and write up to here, write it. Now let's solve this. So it is x times 3x is 3x square minus 5x is equal to 6x square minus 18x plus 12. Can I get all these terms on the right side? So I will have 6x square minus 3x square is 3x square. Negative in x, and this negative 5x will go here and become plus 5. So it will become negative 13x, and 12 will be as it is, and here is 0, right? So it's a quadratic. Instead of 0 being on right side, it is written on left side, doesn't matter. So now you have A, B and C. A is 3, B is negative 13, C is 12. Okay, let's go and find the value of D. B square minus 4AC. So it is negative 13 whole square minus 4 times A is 3 and C is 12. Right? It is 169 minus 144, which is 25. It's again a full root number. If you wanted to factorize this, you could have done. Okay. So full root number helps us. So quadratic formula, x equals to minus b plus minus root of d over 2a. So x1 will be minus b. B is minus 13 for us. Negative 13 plus minus root of 25 is 5 over a is 2 times 3, right? This is x. So x1 will be 13 plus 5 by 6 and x2 will be 13 minus 5 by 6. So 13 plus 5 is 18, 18 by 6 is 3, and this is 13 minus 5, 8, 8 by 6, simplify, 2 4 times, 2 3 times, it is 4 upon 3. So these are our values. So I have explained in this video all kinds of questions which can be coming, and direct formula they will not give you, they will give you these kind of things, okay, because direct formula it's very simple, you just apply. So they want to see your algebraic skills, so they will definitely give you this kind of question, you know, this one and the previous one, where you will have to do some algebra and get it into a quadratic form and then apply the quadratic formula to get your x values. Okay, thanks.